So we're just now coming to the end of Moark Road at the southernmost side of Missouri. You can see a big red gate there. That's the neighbor's driveway. And we're going to cut left. So Moark Road just ended. And we're going to cut left onto the gravel road to the property. And this is where you may encounter a gate or a cable. We'd be happy to give you the combo for that. There we go. So we'll pull on through here in a second. But also I wanted to mention, if you want to drive to State Line Cove, pull through that first gate, and then instead of continuing south, if you go off to the field, go off to the east, and there's kind of a trail that kind of runs along the tree line at the field, and that will take you all the way down to State Line Cove. You can take a truck or an SUV right down to the water, and actually, I guess you could put your boat or jet ski in right there. So we do own this property, and you've got our permission to use that. I mean, it's not an easement or anything, but as long as we own this chunk right here, you're welcome to do that. If you want some easier access to State Line Cove, if you don't want to necessarily put a trail in going east on your property, then this gives you a really good option to still get to the water. And you'll see that big tower there. This used to be a buffalo ranch, and that, I guess, was a viewing station, so everybody could look at the buffalo. So now we're pulling through to the south, and just follow the gravel road. Beautiful open meadow. We always see deer and turkey out here. This is the nearest neighbor. Super nice guy and his wife, retired. Beautiful lake view. So we're still at the north side of the peninsula. We've actually got some Corps land on the right there. Those white pickets indicate the Corps of Engineer land. And we're going to keep heading south. So this large gray metal building, it's a really good landmark because that's where we come to the Y in the road. So we've just passed the building, pile of gravel, but that won't be there forever. But we come to the Y in the road, and now we're going to go left at the Y in the road. If we were to go right, we would continue all the way down. It goes all the way down to the south side of the peninsula, where that really cool sandy beach area is. So I mean, that's awesome. There are some rough sections in the road, so if you're not in a truck or an SUV, you probably don't want to head down that way. For the most part, it's good, but there is one rocky area where you kind of have to go up some rocks. But anyway, we go to the left. It's just the wildlife out here is amazing. It's like I don't know, a private zoo. This whole peninsula, it seems like there are some herds of deer and turkeys and whatnot that just stay out here, because almost every single morning we see 10 or 15 or 20 deer in that field. We've been seeing turkey all the time. Now we've come to another Y in the road, and this time we're going to head to the right. If you go left, it just goes to a small field and stops right away. We're going to veer to the right. Really, you do want to have that MapRight link, if at all possible. Download the MapRight app to your smartphone or your tablet, and then we'll send you the link to the active MapRight map. And then if you open your email on your phone, it'll say, do you want to open this, because we'll email you the link. If you open that email, it will say, do you want to open this link within the MapRight program? And you'll say yes. And then the actual interactive map from the listing will open up, and there'll be a little blue dot that indicates where you are. So it's by far the best way to look at these tracts. because this can certainly be confusing. I've been out here many times and I'm still confused by the road system. Obviously these are fairly primitive roads or trails. That is by design. These will never be large paved roads. This is really more for truck and SUV lifestyle. Okay, so we're parked right here on the easement road. We're a little over halfway to the property. There's a trail going off to the left, to the north. That leads past tracks 6, 7, and 8 to the core line. I believe the trail itself goes all the way down to the lake. But we're going to keep heading south here on the easement road. Beautiful day, beautiful day. It's in the 40s right now. It feels warmer with the sun coming up, but it's going to be about 65. Maybe even as high as 70 today, which is perfect weather for getting out here and enjoying things. And in the Ozarks, the middle of winter, like it is right now, can be really interesting because we do have 4 distinct seasons, with the leaves changing and the winter time and spring and summer, etc. But also we have stretches where it can be quite warm. So here we are in the middle of winter and it's going to be 65, almost 70 today. We just went over a couple rough spots in the road. These are minimum maintenance easement roads, so they're never going to be paved highways. Now we're at a Y in the road. We're going to hang a left. But the whole idea behind these kind of easement roads was to kind of give the whole area that character, kind of like you're driving to your cabin in the woods. And with that, you want to take a truck or an SUV to your cabin in the woods. It's pretty early in the morning, and we're staring right into the sun, unfortunately. So that's going to make the video dark. If I haven't already mentioned it 10 times, this is an awesome area for deer and turkey. This huge private peninsula. I mean, I think there are a number of deer and turkey that probably never leave the peninsula. So you are bound to see those guys running all over your property. And we're coming up now on that large meadow area. I can hear a few boats off in the lake. I mean, there are definitely people who fish year-round in this lake. It's open for fishing year-round because it doesn't get cold enough for the water to freeze over. I prefer to get it at least in the 70s before you find me on the lake, but I can certainly understand that some people are hardcore like that. Okay. So we just pulled into the big meadow area. So we pulled into the meadow area, and now the road easement runs along the edge of this meadow. And now that we've made it to the big, beautiful meadow, we are almost to the property. Easement roads seem to be in pretty good shape today, although we did have a few wet spots. Definitely do want the truck or an SUV, really with 4-wheel drive, just in case you encounter some bad areas. And like I said, the road easement just kind of runs along the edge of this field, and it does appear to be in pretty good shape. These are minimum maintenance roads, and they really don't get much use other than the property owners because they are private roads. They're not for the public. You can see that spotting station, and that's a good landmark. That means we're almost to the property. There's another trail that goes off to the right. We do not want to take that. Okay, so yeah, we really just have a couple hundred feet and we'll be there. It'll be on the right. This is tract 74 that we're looking at. So that tower right there, you might notice, other than the wooden part on the top that someone added on at some point, it's the same type of spotting station as at the entrance to Timber Shoals Ranch, and that was used to, I guess, just to view the buffalo. The guy that owned this whole peninsula had the buffalo ranch, and he owned several theaters in Branson, and apparently he was into, I don't know if showing off is the right word or not, but he had his buffalo specifically to bring people out so they could look at them. So kind of interesting. Had Wayne Newton and all those guys out here to hunt and play and probably stand in those towers and look at the buffalo. So I was told if you performed in Branson during, I guess, the 70s to the mid-80s, you were probably out here checking out the buffalo at some point. Okay, so we've got the property. Okay, we've got it on the right side of the road easement here. We're looking directly into the sun, which is a bummer, but we're going to pull up a little bit and then turn around so we can get the sun hopefully behind us. And we'll do a ground video, and then we'll do a drone video, and you can check them. You can check everything out at InstantAcres.com. Okay, this looks pretty good. We're really at about the northeast corner of the property. Very close to Bull Shoals Lake, as you'll see in a moment when we do the drone video, or on the listing, or however you want to put it. Beautiful view. I mean, you will see deer out in this meadow all the time. Practically every single time we're out here, we see deer in the meadow up front. And I think they probably, when they scatter, they head toward this meadow, because then we see them here. So private and beautiful out here. I just want to stay all day every time I'm out here. Build a little campfire and cook my beans for lunch and just hang out. So we'll just walk a little ways into the property to get a look at it. So this side, I'm seeing some hardwood mixed with some cedar. We've got some kind of thick vines or something here. I'm not sure what that is. I mean, you've got to get off the road at least 100 feet anyway when you do your site. So you're going to want to get back into this stuff. We've got a little cedar grove. And ultimately, the drone video will probably show us as much or more than I can ever see on foot here. We love doing the drone videos in the wintertime because you can just see everything. Once the leaves are off the trees, I mean, you can get a good look at the property. Some more hardwood trees. Everything looks pretty level from what I can see on this end of the property for sure. Wow. That's a really big tree. How big is that? 10, 20. That's almost 40 inches. That is a huge tree. 40-inch diameter oak tree. That's amazing. We keep finding cool surprises like that out here at Timber Shoals. And then we've got some big cedar. Okay, well, things opened up a little bit. And now we've got some of the biggest cedar trees I've ever seen in my life. Oh, this is beautiful. There is a mature cedar grove here, a few hundred feet back off the road. I just realized I'm following a deer trail. This is cool. If you're a cedar lover, I mean, there's a feeling you get in a cedar grove that you just don't get anywhere else. Like, I expect to see fairies or nymphs or something
flying through here. Oh, this is super cool. Wow. Or maybe it's just me. I don't know. You be the judge. Come on out and take a look. This, as I look into the sun, everything looks dark in the video. I know that, unfortunately. But this is really pretty out here. I haven't seen a cedar grove, mature cedar grove like this for quite some time. Some of these cedar trees are easily 20 inches across. Very cool. I still see some hardwoods. There's a huge oak right there actually, and a bigger one further back. And I'm really excited to do the drone video. There's another deer trail going off through the cedars. I'm excited to do the drone video and really see this from the air, because from the ground it looks pretty neat. Probably a good time to mention, as we always do, that once the property's been paid for in full, you could cut the trees, you could sell the trees, you could harvest the trees, you can use them for personal firewood, whatever you want to do once the property's been paid for in full. Until that time, you cannot cut the trees. And we do, people ask if we make exceptions. We do make exceptions for trails and building sites and whatnot. All you have to do is mark the trees you want to remove with some marking tape, like from the hunting section at Walmart, or Home Depot has it too, that orange marking tape or whatever color. And we'll ask one of our guys to come out and look things over. And if it's all good, we will give you written permission to cut even the bigger trees. That's if you're doing a building site or a trail or whatnot. So just let us know, but we're happy to work with you. Very cool. Check out the drone video as well, which we'll do in a moment. And we'll post at InstantAcres.com if the property's still available. If you don't see it on the website, then unfortunately it's already sold. You know, that's a big cedar, man. That's a 24-inch cedar tree. Wow, cedar's a specialty wood. So a lot of the loggers don't handle it, because you do have to have kind of a specialty market for the big cedar to get what they're worth. But these big ones like this, whew, big bucks. Even some of the limbs on this are big enough to be used in various ways. Anyway, InstantAcres.com. That's us.